Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be each and every Sunday night, where tonight we are, of course, live and exclusive on Top Split TV with round 3 of Sunday Night Lights. Tonight, coming to you from Lime Rock Park, of course. I'm your host, Alex McKellar, and joining me, as always, is the chaotic one, Mr. Corey Steinhauser. Massive field tonight. Massive strength of field, Corey, 52.75. The big guns are out to play on the biggest race of the week. Looking forward to it, mate, and action stations ahead of us for sure.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And we're at a Lime Rock Park with the West Bend chicane. It's a fast, flowy track. We can see very, very small lap times around this track, which is always going to be a great show. And the warm-up race was even super intense. It came a mono-a-mono battle between Christian Perez and Dario Frattini, and they were separated at the line by .034. So here's hoping we get another race like that here for the big dance.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And drivers, this layout's proven quite popular this week, actually, and that's represented by the turnout here tonight, I think. Starting with our car number 1, which is, of course, Christian Perez back to defend his title here tonight, starting out round 3 as a top-seeded driver. Pablo Espers, who we saw last week, put on a great show. He's car number 2. Adam Miles yet to take the track. He's car number 3 out there tonight. Dario Frattini, becoming somewhat of a regular fixture here on a Sunday night, is joining us once again as car number 4. Rasmus Viori, the Finnish driver, has had incredible pace over the last few weeks, and this week is no exception. Has been dominating proceedings. If you can hang on to him, you're doing well. If you can't, he's gone, is the story of the week. Dimitri Philippides, car number 6 here tonight, flying the French flag. Of course, he's half French and blinking like Blinky Bill, apparently, at the moment. Brett McBurney for McFlabby Racing joins us once again, the ANZ driver, leading the ANZ charge here tonight as the top-seeded driver is car number 7. Car number 8, Vasco Sorowski, the head clown himself, yet to take the track. There he is. He's just come out now, just on cue, as it were. Head clown leading the way for the clowns there tonight. Car number 9, Marty Booker back again for Fungus Turret Racing. Great to see him out there. Great community guy. Hangs around all the streams, has a good chat. Great to see him back here on a Sunday night. Neil Gardner, Captain 499, leading the NZ charge of the ANZ club and doing a great job of it, Corey. And once again, that's the top half of the field.
Absolutely, Alex. And I just noticed the top half of the field are all above 5K. So 11th on down is 4.9K or below. And we're kicking things off with Ruben Ray from Iberia as our 11th plated car. Following him, compatriot Xavier Sanchez in the 12th plated car. It's great to see both of those guys out there on track. Got the Team Milo bossman Russell Clark from AusNZ representing the lucky for some, unlucky for others, number 13. We got Hideki Ogihara from Japan as our 14th plated car here tonight, and I just decided that if I say his name with enough confidence, it can't be wrong.
That's how it goes, mate. That's how it goes.
We've got Terry Magruder from UK and I as our 15th plated car here tonight, and we're wrapping up the field with Ryan Chenoweth from AusNZ as our 16th plated car, and Paul Wilson also from AusNZ as our 17th plated car, just sneaking in, Alex, with a 3.8 rating.
Yeah, 3,800 buys you the final ticket in the big show this week as the guys start winding down their laps. Speaking of the devil, Paul Wilson doing exactly that. He's done his 2 laps. Or Dimitri's bouncing around like nobody's business. We'll stick with Xavier at the moment because Xavier, one of the big streamers. Pikey's 660, I think it is, ES. He's usually got a few hundred people watching his races. Quite an animated Spaniard, I have to say. It's like, if you like those really exciting Spanish commentary of the soccer and that, go watch his stream. It's great. He's a good driver too, can steer. Car number 9 here tonight, Rasmus Fiori. Sanchez sets only quick enough time for P9. Viore, I think, is on a cool down lap. McGrowther, the last one out. Oh no, there's a couple of Swarovski still out there as well. Adam Miles crosses the line. Where's he got to? Only as good as 7th. McGrowther will be the next to cross the line. What's the UK&I driver got for us? Oh, he jumps up to P9 now. Swarovski coming around for his final lap. He's sitting last at the moment. What has the head clown got for us with his second lap as he crosses the line? Drops in a 102.2 down in P12, just inside the points before we get underway, Corey, but that will not make Swarovski happy, I have no doubt.
No, it definitely won't, Alex. He was battling up in the top 5 in the warm-up race, so this is definitely a big downfall from where he was there. Hopefully he can make his way through the field, but it's going to be really hard with the fast, flowy nature of this track. There's only really a couple of genuine overtaking opportunities around here, and it's going to be hard for him to work his way through the field.
Yeah, absolutely. He's had great pace here all week, so he'll be disappointed with that effort in qualifying. Yeah, he'll be dirty to begin with. And can I tell you what I've seen from Vasco in the past is when he gets the fire in the belly, he actually goes pretty good and can move forward from there, I'm pretty sure, as Miles is the last one out on track. Just running the cool down laps, of course. He's just getting his eye in. This is actually Adam's only his second race of the week, and I do wonder, I haven't asked him, but I do wonder if he's having a shot at the championship this season. 4 races is about all you want to do to have a run at the championship each week. So, but that, folks, will do quality. Let's check out our grid for round 3 at Lime Rock Park here, season 29 Sunday Night Lights. Christian Perez, unsurprisingly, on top of the pops here for Astro Racing Team with a 101.6. That's blistering out here tonight, just ahead of his compatriot Pablo Espes from Iberia. Just over, nearly 1.5 tenths behind, joins him on the front row. FPMQ controls, Dario Frattini, 2 tenths off pole. Starts us out in P3 here tonight, just ahead of Dimitri Philippidis from France. 2.5 tenths off the leader. Brett McBurney leads the way for the ANZ cars here tonight for McFlabby Racing. Starts out of 5th. Joining him on the 3rd row will be Rasmus Vuori from Finland, who surprisingly only starts 6th. From the 4th row tonight will be Adam Miles for Miles Ahead Racing. Joining him there, his compatriot for Fungus Turret Racing, Martin Booker. Terry McGrowther, great qualifying time for UK&I there, starting out of 9th. Joined on the 5th row by Astro Racing's Ruben Ray. Xavier Sanchez from Spain, of course, starts out at P11 tonight. Vasco Swarovski starts out in the points, looking to move forward out of 12th. If I go over the page, 13th, Ryan Chinoweth, the Wildlife Warrior for Goose Juice Racing, starts out at 13th. Alongside him, the lone Japanese driver, Hideki Ogihara for Nagai Racing School. 15th off the grid tonight will be Captain 499 himself, Neil Gardner. 16th, join him on the 8th row of the grid will be Paul Wilson from ANZ. Russell Clark, Team Milo, Bossman. Only a second off the pace, if you can believe it. The entire field covered by a second. And Russell Clark rounds out the field there for Team Milo, Corey. We've got 24 laps. Do you have an early prediction?
Well, it's going to be hard to look past Perez, Espes, and Frattini. In fact, I just noticed that Frattini's lap time for quali was done on his first lap, didn't complete the second one. As the revs start to rise, the red lights mean rev and the green lights mean go. We're underway here for round number 3, season 29 Sunday Night Lights from the Lime Rock Park, and already you can see Christian Perez taking a commanding lead into turn 1, and Dimitri Philippidis experimenting with alternate dimensions there in the background. It's a little bit distracting, so let's hope he doesn't get in the way too much with his Blinky Bill habits there, Alex.
Yeah, it is a little bit disorientating, distracting if you're in the midst of that pack, but they look to be getting it sorted pretty well throughout, actually. A bit of 2 wide through turn 1, 2, which is not uncommon. You can actually get it 3 wide, and you will sometimes get that in the mid stage of the race already. Swarovski getting the moves on, up 1 position past Sanchez, although he runs a bit wide over the turnhill at uphill at turn 5, side by side into the chicane. They go with the first time round. Sanchez taking advantage of the Swarovski mistake, the early aggression from Swarovski coming unstuck through the uphill, where, speaking from personal experience, is very, very strong, but cold tyres perhaps playing a part there, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. Cold tyres around here can be pretty treacherous. I saw also a lot of drivers were complaining about track grip there in qualifying. So the track conditions might not be optimal for these tyres to be so cold. And Adam Miles, I'm just looking at him right now. He's moved up one position. He's up into P6 at the moment. Brett McBurney similarly up one position, up into fourth, Alex.
Fantastic work from McBurney. He's got past Philippides, who's sometimes on again, off again relationship with the track and this dimension continues at this stage. But Espes, Perez and Frattini, led by Perez at this stage, have made the breakaway. I suggest that the move by McBurney coming at the expense of the lead pack, or remaining attached to it at least, and I would suggest that from here we will see Perez, Espes and Frattini drive away, and there are preliminary or podium positions that will be hard to chase down, would be my guess. The only one who I think would have any chance if they start to battle would likely be Viore, but he's buried. He's down in P7. He's looking at the tailpipe of Adam Miles at the moment. They both look to go inside of Philippides at this stage. Philippides again, on again, off again. Relationship with the track is mostly off again at the moment. And he lost 2 positions there. Potentially, I don't know, you've probably got the radio in your ear, mate. They're probably telling him he's out and about, and potentially letting him by.
Yeah, they're definitely letting him know all about it pre-race, Alex. And I think he is just doing a gentlemanly thing and getting out of the way when he can, which is horrible because he's usually such a great racer. But yeah, it's his quality that's really letting him down here tonight. I'm just having a look. His quality is down to the 63, which is quite horrible when it comes to online racing. So hopefully that might clear up a little bit as the race goes on. But it's not looking likely at the moment, Alex.
No, that's right. Doing the right thing, though. I tell you, Swarovski struggling, and Philippides again in and out of this universe at different stages. Anyway, let's focus on up front. You've got Perez leading the way from Espes and Frattini. McBurney now. Oh, look, maybe I've written him off too soon. He's only 8/10 off the back. And that's a solid effort if he can hang on and actually move forward in the draft here, because the front three aren't doing anything. So it's pace on pace. Direct comparison there, Perez and McBurney. And actually last lap it was McBurney who had it by nearly 2/10, at least a tenth. No, actually it was 2/10 he had it by, which means he's bridging the gap. Maybe I've underestimated the leading ANZ driver in the field, as Adam Miles behind him runs quite wide, and Viore will take full advantage this time. No draft for Miles, not in the same sort of strength that he had the previous lap. And Viore's got pace for days here, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. And you can see he's going around the inside right now. I actually just heard on the radio that Adam was letting him by because he had such a terrible run through to West Bend there. And yep, the move is made nice and easy. And that Philippides is definitely, he's got a handful right now, Alex, with just his connection alone.
Yeah, I was just sorry. I just let out the oof because I saw Sanchez chucking up the inside of Booker into turn 1. Booker doing a sensational job and holding off the Spaniard there. Swarovski now trying to battle with Ray. Has gone nowhere in this field. And he's in. Oh, look, he gets such a run through there that he was into the tailpipe of Ray. Nowhere to go. Thankfully, not unsettled too much. Was Ray, and they're able to continue. No damage to either by the looks of it. Meanwhile, checking in with our leaders. Oh, actually, there's 2x2 behind. What's Viore doing? Miles has come back at him somehow. We missed that. And they're 3 wide now. Up the back, up the front straight, I should say. And Miles has picked up a slowdown for sure. He's just dropping back there, and in fact, in comes McGrowther. Has the look. Oh, shows the nose up the inside. That's cost him, because Philippides, Captain Blinky Bill of the evening, has gone through and got 2 for 1, 2 for none. Actually, he's just gone straight through. The previous couple of laps ago, both of them went through on him, and yeah, he's still continuing on at the moment. Hard to follow, no doubt. But meanwhile, just quickly checking in on the effort to McBurney. He remains about 8/10 behind. Was 5/100ths slower, so really on pace with Espes, who made a run for the lead last time round, Corey.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. Our top 3 definitely starting to pull away. In fact, our front force definitely starting to pull away here a little bit as Breck McBurney still just about on the tail of this pack. He hasn't got much to try and catch up to them here, which is pretty awesome. And yeah, he's only 6/10 off as they just cross the start finish line this time. And you know, if anyone's going to catch up to these top four, it's going to be McBurney, honestly.
Yeah, and I'm watching this 3 wide, a couple of places into turn. Oh, look at Clark and Augie Hutter there trying to go around the outside of Gardner there, and it was Clark all sorts of locked up in front. In front of them was Sorosky making the move on Ray. We've lost a couple in the background. I just want to check out what happened to Marty Booker, because he's got, oh wow, I don't know if he got help there, but bang through the exit of the chicane into the wall. That's cost Marty Booker. Really sad to see that. The other one that we lost, as we're back at live pictures for the moment, was Ryan Chenoweth. I just want to check out what happened to Ryan. It's through the uphill, I'm going to guess, as so many this week has happened. Yeah, bang, spat off to the other side. Too much steering input to the right as you come over there, and that's all she wrote. So we've lost a couple of our flying drivers out there. It's back in live pictures. We've got Sorosky up the inside of Sanchez into turn 1. That's the primary passing opportunity. Is again in the background. Clark looking up the inside of Ogihara. Looks like he might have got it done this time round. Strong move there from the Team Milo boss man. Gets it done, Corey.
Yeah, that was a really nice move too, Alex. It was pre-planned. He got the draft, he made the move, and it stuck so beautifully. And we do have a proper pack of 4 at the front now, as Brett McBurney well and truly on the back of this pack now, making this a 4-car battle for the lead. And these guys still just chilling at the moment, not racing too hard. And if the warm-up race is anything to go by, as off the track goes Frattini big time, coming out of the West Bend chicane. And that's going to hurt these two at the back here a little bit. A little bit of an air gap showing up as we got a challenge for the lead. Here comes Christian Perez up the inside, and he's going to make that move stick before turn 1, Alex.
Yeah, great job from Perez getting it done up the inside of Espes. I tell you, the lap before, McBurney put in a flyer, 101.2, fastest lap of the race so far. Fantastic effort. No doubt draft assisted, but he's bridged the gap. There wasn't draft. He made some, and then he took full advantage of it, and that's a high caliber effort there from McBurney. Let's see what he can do with it. Second pack now led by Viori. I don't think he's going to do the same thing and bridge what is nearly a 3-second gap to the lead pack just behind him. Filippides seems to have settled down now, almost enough so I could highlight him on the screen and with some confidence, but you got your McGrowther and Miles in behind. And then, dare I say, the third pocket of excitement is now led by Sorosky, who has in fact made 3 positions and is starting to move forward. But there is a 1.6-second gap. Is the fire in the belly enough to drive the little clown car to bridge it, Corey? That's the question.
Oh, I reckon it might be, Alex, especially if Adam Miles is not having the best of races here. He was right up there, you know, in the positive position gain for a little bit. But he's dropped off to the back of that pack that's just ahead.
Oh, sorry, mate. They're side by side up ahead for the lead. Frattini, and sorry to cut you off, Frattini and Perez going all sorts of side by side through the opening sectors. And they've come out line astern, this time with Perez still in front. Espes shuffled back to P3, Corey. These guys are not letting well enough alone with a big lead. They are fighting tooth and nail.
And this is what we love to see, Alex. These guys putting it all on the table. It doesn't matter what lap it's on. Being in the lead is just that important to these guys. Although in saying that, with the kind of drive that you can get out of West Bend, I'd rather be the second car in line, get a nice draft up on the car in front and try and make the overtake before the line. But each to their own. Is very defensive goes Christian Perez along the main straight. It's going to put Frattini on the outside. Oof. What can he do? Almost contact as Perez slides it into turn 1 sideways. And these guys are going to be fighting it hard through turns 3 and 4 as well, as Frattini will take the lead here in turn 3 as they come up to right-hander turn 4. Very inventive names that they got for some of these corners here. But Frattini now leading the way, Alex.
Yeah, can I tell you, this is probably one week that I'll probably back Frattini in. He's done a lot of laps here. A lot of laps. You could see the angle of attack there from Perez into turn one was amazing. The rear of the car really stepping out, but in full control. Really just getting the rotation done early up the inside there. But Frattini got it done through the left-hander. As you say, the creatively named left-hander around the inside. It's easy to, as we see almost 3 wide, they're going to go 2 wide. Espes is going to try to go up the inside and take advantage of the hole made by Perez. He's going to go side by side through turn 2, up to the left-hander now at turn 3, still side by side, but this is where it'll come. See, Frattini's done the laps. He gets it done at the inside of turn 3 and defends successfully. You do the laps, you get the experience that comes in handy come the big one, Corey.
That's exactly right, Alex. Nothing pays off like doing a lot of laps around the track, especially one where, you get 24 laps in the race, and in practice, you're only doing just over a minute per lap. So, there's plenty of opportunity to get a ton of laps around a track like this, and Frattini's showing us how to get it done here. See what he's got for Perez on the main straight this time. He's got a little bit of a gap, about 0.2 of a second. He'll close that up very quickly with the draft, see if Perez goes defensive or not, and he does. Frattini's going to look to the outside again, but he's not going to take it. As we reach the halfway mark, Alex, with 12 laps down and just 12 laps to go.
They will fly by too. Interestingly, that time they didn't go into full attack mode. I've been watching the gap to Viori back, who's leading the second pack there in P5. It was, and it is down to 1.7 seconds. You may remember a while ago, it was about 2.8. So, as I said, Viori's done a lot of laps here too. Most of them out in front of everyone by miles. He has got some good pace. Didn't qualify where I thought he might. And as a result, has had to fight his way to the front of this pack. I don't know that there's anyone in this pack that'll challenge him. And the question is, can he put it on and get close to the front pack? Now, this tertiary pack here, led by Swarovski, they are charging hard as well. Swarovski last lap, best lap of the race for him is the 101.2. I suggest probably in clean air. That is sparkling time. In fact, that's faster than our leaders, who once again are going line astern. This time getting it sorted. This time we see the 101.2s come out. This time Adam Miles with a 101.1 sets the fastest time of the fastest lap of the race with a 3-car tow. It has to be said, but still it was the fastest time of the race and at least a 10th quicker. Oh no, lap for lap they were about the same, I beg your pardon. Perez, Frattini's gone. Frattini's dropping like a stone. No, he's back. He just visited the Dimitri dimension momentarily, but he's still there, Corey, thankfully for the race.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. I got worried there for a second when you said he was gone. I was like, what? I was just watching him. But yeah, these guys at the front now, as they come across the west bend to the downhill corner, the final corner, turn number 9, onto the Sam Posey straight. And look at the run that Perez got out of the downhill corner there. He's got 0.3 clear. It's going to be hard for Frattini to make a move unless he goes for an absolute full send dive bomb, which he wasn't opposed to doing. I don't think he'll do it this early in the race, as we can see them going through turns 1 and 2 at Big Bend nice and cleanly, as the second pack behind them were going 2 by 2 through Big Bend, Alex.
Yeah, 2 by 2 they go. Noah's Ark style, of course. And Viori got done there. McGrowther on debut, sticking it to the Finnish driver. And Miles once again setting the fastest lap with a 1:01.1. All the ones for car number 3. And up over the uphill they go. Meanwhile, up front, we've still got Perez and Frattini. Perez a little bit of a lock-up. Frattini will have the run here. Frattini right up and much closer than he has been in previous laps, as is Espes. Espes probably the one to watch here. He'll have the double draft. Will it be 3 wide into turn 1 this time round, Corey?
It's very possible, Alex. I also just noticed that Perez missed the apex there on that final corner as he goes very defensive, almost forcing Espes all the way over onto the grass. But on the outside is Frattini. We've seen Frattini make this move stick once. Can he make it stick again as they stay side by side coming out of turn 2? And this is where Frattini is showing his prowess, showing how good he is. But let's see if Perez can hold on tight on that right side. He can go in through turn 4. So this battle's not over yet, Alex, as we go up the no-name straight into the uphill turn 5. it's going to be interesting to see how they come out of it if they stay 2x2.
Perez this time learning how to hold it and doing it well, but it is actually Espes who's taking full advantage into the braking zone at the chicane, gets the run up the uphill as Frattini was forced around the outside, gets the move done nice and cleanly. Frattini making room, excellent driving throughout, well played all. Fiore, you can just see in the background now, is some 1.4 seconds behind. Another 4/10 gain through the battling, and with about 8 laps to go, I could still see an 8-car pack forming at some point, although in the second pack now they're not going 2x2, although Fiore was forced to take a defensive line there from McGrowther. McGrowther doing a great job on debut, it has to be said. I think he's doing fantastically well. And car number 15, 4200 I rating, up there with the big boys, hopefully grinning from ear to ear.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And at one point, he held the fastest lap of the race for a couple of laps before Adam Miles took it away from him. So he's definitely no slouch when it comes to driving these skippies around here. Hopefully, we see him come back in the future races because he's definitely putting on a show here in this second pack. And I dare say, Alex, this second pack is closing in quite considerably on our front pack.
That they are, mate. Hopefully, maybe the time zone change or the daylight savings change helps someone, and McGrowther can join us. Meanwhile, more regularly, I should say. Meanwhile, Espes takes defensive line, but leaves the door open late. Sorry, it was Perez. Leaves the door open late. Espes doesn't take advantage, and they remain line astern. McBurney playing a very patient game. I think he's letting the European trio up front sort themselves out, and I think perhaps with 2-3 laps to go, McBurney will try and press the ANZ claims to the podium positions. But at the moment, he did such a fantastic job to bridge the gap. I have no doubt, though, based on my experience with Brett, he'll be looking for more. He'll be hungry for more. Very competitive driver, and obviously with the pace to match it with some of the best here tonight, Corey.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And he's ever the opportunist as well. He's just waiting for that right moment where he can pin those ears back and just let it loose up the inside of one of these guys, as he doesn't really get the great run out of the downhill, the final corner, as very defensive once more goes Perez. Slides back over to the racing line. Espes runs a little bit wide in turn one, the first part of the Big Bend, and it's not going to affect him in any way. Frattini not getting the nose up there just in time. So these guys just playing the epic chess match right now on who's going where. And, you know, it's a little bit of 5D chess at the moment, Alex, with the way that some of these guys are driving at the front.
Yeah, that's it. They are all sort of looking for the chink in the armour, showing the different lines, looming big in the mirrors. Or sideways out of the uphill in the background was Fiore. He continues to lead this secondary pack. Checking in with our tertiary pack, it's still Swarovski, the head clown ahead of Sanchez, and Ruben Ray, the second Team Astro Racing team member in this field. Neil Gardner up 3 positions in the points for SNL, running a lonely race ahead of Russell Clark. Ogihara, the lone Japanese driver, in a battle with Paul Wilson for P14, and the Wildlife Warrior Ryan Chenoweth. He's the last one running on track, as Martin Booker is our sole retirement, sadly. Meanwhile, back up in front as we check in with our leaders. Still a battle pack of 4 here, led by Perez. We've got 5 laps to go, and the running's still as tight as it ever was. They've settled down into that middle lull. It's like the eye of the storm in a race like this. So many laps to get through. All of them thinking their strategies for the final few, Corey. Again, I know Frattini's sitting... Oh, look, I was going to say Frattini based on what I saw early in the race, but Perez has really found his legs. Espes has got some pace. McBurney's been biding his time patiently. Oh, mate, I don't know where to look. Who's your money on?
I'm going to actually keep my money on Frattini here. We've seen him drive really well around this track, especially in a warm-up race. And I reckon he's just biding his time right now, waiting for the right moment to strike, where Perez and Espes won't be able to battle him back. much like McBurney, he's just sitting there biding his time, waiting for a mistake to happen so he can capitalize. And, you know, I've just got to keep my money on Fratini right now because I reckon he's got what it takes to get it done here tonight, Alex.
I'll tell you, there's some laps being put down from Viore. He's only 1.5 seconds behind now, this lead pack, but I think he's running out of laps. I don't think he's going to get there, and the question is, if he did get there, could he make a difference? It's still this leading four-car train led by Perez. Two Spaniards on front, the Italian running third, and the ANZ hope in McFlabby Racing's Brett McBurney scrounging at the moment. Well, no, biding his time, waiting to pounce, like the Black Panther in the background. A side-by-side, Espes and Perez go through turn one again, trying to leave a hole there potentially or take advantage of one. Is Fratini still side by side? They're going through the left-hander up to the right-hander now at turn four, and back line astern they go. These guys just precision personified, Corey.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. These guys are putting on a surgical clinic right now, showing us all the ways that you can attack and defend all at the same time. As I just saw there, Fratini having his left side tyres in the dirt a little bit, as up the inside of the West Bend chicane goes Espes, couldn't quite pull it off. And now that's going to leave him a little bit compromised here as we go through the downhill corner onto the Samposi straight. But he's still right there, Alex, as defensively goes Perez, and around the outside goes Espes. A little bit of a contact, but Espes is going to have a great run here into turn one, Alex.
Viore was momentarily in draft as Filippides sets the fastest lap. First one to go, 101, under 101 with a 1 minute flat, 0.99. Just snuck under there, but snuck under he did as Espes now makes the move through the opening sector, gets it done after compromising the exit of the final chicane for Perez. Took full advantage into the turn 1-2 complex and gets it done. What's Perez got now? Takes the title line through the uphill section on the penultimate lap. This time Perez forces Espes to go defensive into the chicane. That will compromise his exit and set Perez up for the run this time. Rolls reverse, and look at Viore right on the back of McBurney. McBurney needs to make his move. He needs to make his charge. They're coming round to get the white flag, Corey. What? It's all going to unfold here in the final lap.
That's exactly right here, Alex. As defensive goes Espes on the inside. Here comes Perez. White flag, last lap, last chance to win or wear it. And now here comes Fratini as well around the outside. Almost 3 wide going into turn 1. The racing action starting to pick up now as we make it out of the Big Bend. Still side by side as Perez and Espes, and Fratini just waiting for the gap to open up, waiting for a mistake. So too is McBurney, and the racing intensity's just picked up tenfold, Alex.
Oh, Espes runs wide. The rear of the car. Fratini goes through for sure. All money if they go side by side. McBurney looking to make it side by side through the uphill this time round. Squeezed by Espes. Squeezed out of it. Viore now contact in the background with McBurney, who was compromised. The front three now getting away with it. Espes up the inside. That is, oh, how did he do that? There's a trail of carnage behind him as Espes. What was that? Side by side on exit now through the final corner. Espes and Perez side by side they go, bumping side by side. I can't believe it. Oh, who got it, Corey? I don't know. It was surely Espes. Was it Espes? Perez. Unbelievable. That move through the final. I cannot believe that what he did through that final chicane, Corey. Never seen it, never will again. I'm going to go for a replay, mate. Tell me your thoughts.
That was just an incredible sequence of corners there, Alex. I can barely believe it myself. That wasn't just full send. That was a speedway-style slide job that he just pulled on Fratini to try and get up next to Perez. And then that move around the outside to seal the win. And the margin of victory, Alex, dead heat at the line. They had to go to 4 decimal places. The gap officially 0.000.
Unbelievable. No wonder I couldn't pick. I'm just watching it here. I don't know. I don't know how he does that. Like, unbelievable. Can I find a camera thing to take me backwards a little bit? Can I go backwards? Will it let me? Hit that, and then can I go backwards? I've got to see it again. Unbelievable. And I want to see what unfolds from behind too, and how it affects why McBurney's then got caught out as well. Let's do that, and then let's go. Oh, where's McBurney? He's so far back now, I can't find him. And then if I hop on the roll bar for McBurney, watch Espers in front of him here. Goes up the inside. Is he ever in full control there? He sideways counter steering the brake, the lockup. Frattini has to get out of it. McBurney tries to go for a hole, but there's a car there. And then she all unfolds. She all unfolds behind, and there's, everyone's putting the shopping carts away at the Woolies on a Saturday morning. And there's just a trail of carnage behind. As a result of that one. I don't know what to make of that one. I think I'm going to spend a bit of time at some point reviewing all that afterwards. But unbelievable scenes here to finish this one. Unbelievable move there from Espes at the end. And I think he comes away with the win as a result, Corey. I'm in stunned shock, not silence, but I'm a bit of a shock after that one.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. I mean, as I said, the gap at the line, dead heat. They had to go to 4 decimal places, and I maybe wager that maybe iRacing had to go to 5 decimal places to sort out who actually won that one. But Espes on top of Perez by 0.000. I think this is the first absolute dead heat that we've had in MNL SNL history. So the closest finish that we've ever had, and wow, what a finish it was. And that slide job, that was stuff of dreams. You'd barely ever see that get pulled off properly in a dirt oval standing, but to see it done in a skippy and at Lime Rock of all places, incredible to watch. And wow, that was just crazy.
Mate, dreams are some, nightmares for others. I would suggest deeper in the pack. He certainly wasn't driving in his mirrors, that's for sure. But let's take a look at the results for this one. Round 3, season 29, Lime Rock Park for Sunday night. Lights, Pablo Espes, the winner by 0.0000 something or other at somewhere. Unbelievably takes out the win. Ahead of Christian Perez Rastro Racing Team, returning champion. And mate, I'm in a bit of shock still. Dario Frattini, who I thought had a really great shot of it, gets a fantastic podium for FPM Cube Controls. Well done to Mr. Frattini. Terry McGrowther on debut somehow managed to pick his way through there cleanly and grab P4. Congratulations. Fantastic drive. Adam Miles, similarly for Miles Ahead Racing, makes it through for a top 5 finish, ahead of Mr. Parallel Universe himself, Dimitri Filipides, who hung on to P6. Vasco Sorofsky, he's up 5 spots, picked his way through the carnage to finish up in 7th position. I know he won't be happy, but he won't be unhappy, I hope. Similarly, his partner in crime throughout the night, Xavier Sanchez, who finished in P8. Ruben Ray, who was the 3rd musketeer in that little group, climbed his way through to P9. Brett McBurney for McFlabby Racing, after a stellar mid-race stint to get himself back into that front pack, couldn't find a way through the... I don't know, maybe he was as boggled as my mind was through that final chicane by the move of Espes in front of him. Rasmus Fiore similarly had magic pace all week, magic pace here tonight. Got the trailing pack right in it at the end, only to come unstuck. Finishes in the points down in P11, just ahead of Captain 499 himself, Mr. Neil Gardner in 12th. Russell Clark, Team Milo Bossman, he finishes down in 13th, just ahead of the sole Japanese driver Hideki Ogihara for Nagai Racing School in 14th. Paul Wilson down there in 15th tonight for ANZ. Goose Juice Racing's Wildlife Warrior, Mr. Ryan Chenoweth, down there in 16th, with Fungus Turret Racing's Martin Booker, the unfortunate sole retirement for tonight. Corey, big one out there again. I don't know. I'm going to go back and watch that one a few times. I don't know. That was certainly a move. Anyway, put it that way.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. I actually took a screenshot of them crossing the line there, and you can't you can't separate the two as they've come across the line. So it's just absolutely crazy. The margin of victory. Great racing all throughout. That front pack definitely put on a show for us here tonight. The second pack also putting on a show and catching up to the front pack there for the final lap. It's unfortunate that we had that bit of a crash in the West Bend at the end of the race, but you know, the excitement levels are absolutely palpable at the moment.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, look, fantastic. And I can see the margin of victory picture you posted there in the Discord. That's man, I can't pick them. I can't tell them apart. Like it's got to be millimeters in it, honestly. Anyway, all right, let's go chat to some of our drivers here. We'll go in finishing order as they appear in the green room here. We'll start with Mr. Dario Frattini. Dario, mate, that was a race. Tell us, mate, my money was on you for the longest time there. I thought the laps you put in this week and the pace you had and what you were showing in the early stages of the race, my money was on you. And then at the end there, I wouldn't have put money on the move that came off. But tell us about the race from your cockpit, mate. How did you find it out there?
Thank you. I'm very disappointed for today because I think for the first time in SNL, I was not actually just hanging on. I actually had the pace to win. So my money was on myself as well. And yeah, I mean the race itself I think was a little boring maybe. It was sent to sleep a bit when Raz got to fifth. So we couldn't really fight a lot because he would have caught up immediately. So we just really left it to the end. And with me being in third place, it's actually probably the best place to race comfortably here because fourth place don't really gain anything on you on the straight. If you just park it a bit in the chicane and leave like 4 tenths in front, then you'll just catch up to the front two, and third won't be able to make a move. So that was fine. I managed to move to second in the last lap. I was definitely a bit too conservative in the chicane. I could have closed the door a bit, but it was just I just sat my eyes at the front and I was getting ready to make it a run for the line. I saw Pablo come in. I mean, the move on myself would have been absolutely fine because I did leave the door open, but it only succeeded because Christian, actually very well done, left. Saw it coming, left the car on the inside. And then I just tried to follow through, but Brett was there. I didn't really look at the replay a lot. I think the gap was just always going to close, but I probably would have done the same trying to follow Pablo in the chicane. So that took away my chance at the drag race at the end. But it looked like it was a spectacular finish, so I can't wait to watch it back.
Yeah, mate, I just don't have the words. I haven't had enough time to go back and look at the move, but send. It'd be in the top 10 sends of the year, if nothing else. It doesn't matter what people think of the move. Espes came through, and then, as you say, I think the skill of the drivers around him, yourself and Perez included, were as much a contributing factor there to his ultimate victory as anything else. But having said that, if you don't try, you don't get it, I suppose. And but throughout the race, though, you guys had incredible pace, and I agree. You're right. There was a discernible change when Viore got on the front of that second pack, and the gap was closing. He's had incredible speed here all week. And you guys buckled down, and for the most part, didn't do too much racing, but it was certainly an enthralling story to tell as the race progressed, mate. But listen, congratulations on your race here tonight, on the racing here this week. Fantastic result, and again, only good things to come based on the pace we've seen here this week, mate. So congratulations. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight before we let you go?
I got a couple. I want to say thank you to Massimo Cube Controls for the sponsors on the car. I want to say thank you to my girlfriend for putting up with me. And as always, big thank you for you two for putting up the broadcast.
Yeah, beautiful. Thanks, Dario. Look forward to seeing the results ahead of you this season, mate. The improvements obviously there. You got your legs back under you after a big break. Onwards and upwards from here, mate. All the best.
Thank you.
Corey Dario Frattini, old-time Skippy driver, back in the scene now after a big break, and like I said, finding his feet and getting amongst it.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. And you know, he even said himself he was backing himself as he was going through that race, and rightly so. He had a lot of pace here tonight, and it's a shame that he only finished third and was not a part of that dead heat right at the front, because I was backing him for the longest time after seeing what he could do in that warm-up race, and he should still hold his head up high. He ran an excellent race all throughout. He just got caught undone by the super send from Espes there, and third place is all he could accrue from it.
Yeah, absolutely. But encouraging signs there for Tini in the season ahead. Now, let's move on to our fifth place getter here tonight, Adam Miles. Adam, second race for the week. Feeling a touch underdone, or just how the race unfolded for you, mate, but certainly opened up at the end. Tell us about your race tonight.
Yeah, it was a little bit of second race inexperience. The qualifying wasn't brilliant, but then when I look at it, another 10th in qualifying would have seen me 3 or 4 spots further up, so it wasn't massively off. And then I think where the second race inexperience cost me was just following people through that chicane. I had really very little experience doing that, and so when you can't see the first apex or the second apex and you're guessing, that's when you get the slowdown. So I think I picked up it definitely 2. I can't remember if it was 3, and it just kept putting me back. But I think Rasmus did a good job of sort of bringing that second pack forward, and I came with it. And yeah, just a little bit of an okay race. Nothing much to report really.
Yeah, that's right. I think the advantage of running the laps here this week is you get all those slowdowns out of the way in the first race or two, right? So I know I had my share of them this week, that's for sure. I remember I thought I got through one race, mate, and the last lap, trying to go for the win, picked up the slowdown, and it cost you 3 positions on the line. It's frustrating, but...
Yeah.
Augurs well for the SNS race tomorrow, mate. I hope it goes very well for you. But on that note, mate, we might let you go. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yourselves, as always, for doing the broadcast, and then I just that race at the end between Pablo and Christian, 6 10,000ths at the line, so really a great finish.
Mate, amazing stuff. And before this week, I didn't know what the 4th decimal place was called. So it's a 10,000ths, folk. It's 0006. There you go.
That's fun.
Yeah, unbelievable. Thanks, Adam, mate. Look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah, see you next week.
There you go, Corey. Adam Miles. 10,000ths is how far we go to now. We don't see it on the telemetry. Maybe I'll need to add an extra decimal place. But yeah, that's pretty close, whatever it is.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. 6 10,000ths of a second is literally the thickness of the paint on the nose. So that is incredibly close finish. Adam, he had a decent race going there at the end. Started out well, dropped down a little bit, and then came back up after all those shenanigans in the West Bend. Finished in 5th, which is 2 positions up from where he started. So he might be a little bit disappointed that he didn't quite have the pace, but he was still there at the end of the race, and he collected himself some decent points because of it.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And that's how you do it. Bit of patience, bit of speed, bit of experience, and away you go. All right, we'll grab final driver in the top 5 here tonight, Mr. Dimitri Philippides. Dimitri, internet troubles at the start seemed to be the story of your night. It all seemed to come together at the end, and then she all unfolded and the seas parted in front of you right at the finish, mate.
Yeah, I was really worried. I mean, I was happy with my qualifying, and then it's Neil who told me that my connection looked pretty bad. And I think I spent probably the 4 first laps just looking at the Q bar that was full red. And I just thought anytime I'm going to get disconnected. Then Adam as well said I was blinking. So, yeah, I was thinking of just pulling out, to be honest.
Yeah, mate, we saw you give up a few, I thought, because of that. And then even now, as I'm trying to follow you in the replay, she's a bit dusty. But, look, it still ended up coming off in the end. It was a decent night out, I think. And certainly a decent result there in P6. So salvaging what could have otherwise been a pretty rough one. And certainly, did you get much of a look at that final chicane there with all the action in front?
Yeah, I did. I watched a replay. Yeah, weird one.
Yeah.
Pretty late to go through there.
Yeah, mate. I suppose at that stage of the race, you got to try anything, right? And certainly, like I said before, probably the skill of the drivers around contributing as much as anything else to the survival or otherwise on the back of that one. But look, congratulations, mate. Just outside the top 5 again here tonight. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, well, you and Corey for organising this every week. I mean, you put a lot of time into it and really do a fantastic job. And also just, thank Adam for looking after the community so well. And yeah, that's it.
Beautiful. All right, folks. Don't forget to go out and check out Dimitri's stream. Give it a plug, mate, before we go. Dimitri, what's the stream name?
Sorry. Tiger Dim 78.
Beautiful. On most nights that I've seen lately, getting some of the best skippy action around there as well. Well, good luck to you, Dimitri. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
There you go, Corey. Dimitri Philippides out there on Twitch doing 3-4 races a night and grinding away, getting better, and it seems to be paying off, mate. Another just outside the top 5 this week for Dimitri.
Yeah, absolutely. Dimitri is one of the drivers that's been on the rise, the most Australian-sounding Frenchman from Asia, and he's been putting in the work, he's been putting in the effort, and it's starting to show as he's getting better and better results. And P6 is not bad considering he was probably on the cusp of getting disconnected from the server because of his quality issue there. So great result for him, and I can see him being a force to be reckoned with in the future if he keeps this up and up going.
Yeah, could well be, mate. Could well be. But before we go, what's an SNL race without a chat with the head clown himself, Mr. Vasco Sorofsky. Vasco, mate, didn't qualify where you wanted to, that's for sure. Worked hard to get through, and then she all opened up at the end, and he grabbed a few sneaky ones at the end, mate. Tell us about the race.
Oh, evening, guys. Yeah, quali. Yeah, it's a bit important. Lap 1, we overcooked the chicane. So lap 2, we're on a flyer and slowed down way too much for the chicane and lost about, 0.7 of a second in that sector, which hurt. So it was different. Had a good battle with Xavier down there. So that was a lot of pressure from him. Lap 1, I'll give him credit. He just put me off just a little bit going up the hill and got back in front of me. And then I was just trying to catch the rest in front, but they had, I think they had Rasmus in front of them, and they were just every straight, they just pull away. You know, you'd gain 2-3 tenths around the back of it, and come the straight, they'd pull away, and it was just a big, accordion, and yeah, we just wish you were up the front, but we weren't. But anyway, so yeah, it was a good evening. It was okay, but like I said, we're just disappointed with ourselves in quali. But the guys at front had big pace, and at the end, come around that chicane and saw cars flying and just went for the gap. Thankfully, it was open at the time, so yeah.
Yeah, mate, sometimes you get the rub of the green and other times you don't, thankfully for yourself. Tonight was your night from that perspective in that final moment. But yeah, we caught a few moments of the actions with you and Xavier early on. Looked like a bit of fun, if nothing else, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day. But look, congratulations on getting through, climbing through. Biggest mover in the field, only equalled by Terry McGrather on debut up there in P4, both up 5 positions in the calibre of field like this tonight is no mean effort, mate. So congratulations on that. Anyone like to give a shout out to before we let you go, mate?
Oh, you and Corey, as always. Special shout out to you for the headaches during the week trying to beat you. So it's all lots of practice there. And obviously the boys, Doug, Martin, Greg, and I'll throw Justin in there because hopefully he'll come back and do a lap or two at some point. So yeah, thanks, guys. And the other races, that's a definite, mate. They're all really good up there. So it's always a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. We only get to do what we get to do on the back of the folks turning up and putting on a great show. So thanks to everyone who comes out each and every week. And thank you to you, Vasco. Look forward to doing it all again next week, mate.
Thanks, guys. See you at Bathurst.
There you go, Corey. That was Mr. Vasco Sorofsky, head clown, putting on a good show again this week. Not where he wanted to be. He did a lot of work this week. Probably if he sticks it in quali, he's a lot further up. But then, who knows? You know, you just never know. Sliding doors kind of style, what happens from there, particularly through the chaos that was the final lap.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a butterfly effect going on if we start talking about what ifs, because anything is a possibility. I'm just glad to see Vasco come into the green room and have a great race and just talk positively and leave with a smile on his face. He's been having such a heartbreaking run so far this season, and it's great to see him up there. Great to see him being competitive. He didn't have the greatest qualifying, but he definitely made moves where it counted and worked his way up into P8. And Oh, P7, my apologies. So, he definitely had a great race then, and we look forward to seeing him when we come home to have the race at Bathurst.
Yeah, absolutely. That's Bathurst next week, folks. Looking forward to that one immensely as we return to the sacred home of ANZ racing, or Australian racing there at Mount Panorama. But that might do us for this week. Corey, do you want to tell the folks at home what you got coming up in the next 7 days?
So on Wednesday and Thursday for the Output Racing League, we're going to be going to the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and we've got 100 laps around the reconfigured track, which races more like a super speedway, which should be a little bit of fun. On Friday, I'm going to be racing in a Night Owl Racing League as well, and from my understanding, we're going to be doing street stocks on road courses, which is going to be its own little bit of a challenge. And then it's back here next week with you, Alex, when we tackle Bathurst.
Bathurst, indeed. Looking forward to it. But folks, make sure you check out all our stuff. If I can find the thing, do that one and that one. Check out the Top Split on YouTube, of course, which is where this replay and all the others for 29 season will be there and about. And of course, some of my races are up there. Some good stuff. Been having good fun over there. But Top Split TV on Twitch is where you'll find us each and every week here, of course, on a Sunday night for the biggest and brightest Skippy action around town. Also in our Discord community, you will find everything that's going on as far as SNL goes. Join us there where we keep up to date with things like the time changes for daylight savings and all the rest of it. And Twitter is where you'll find me chucking out the news as it comes to hand. But folks, that might just about do us for tonight. Thank you once again for joining us. Of course, this race is done by the community for the community, and that's how we like it. I'm Alex McKellen on behalf of the chaotic one himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser. We look forward to seeing you again next week, and until then, ciao for now.